probably goes back to the 1700s. Some of them have got dates. Look, 1620, 1623. So that's probably a couple of hundred years. Let's see, what we're now, 2000? That's 400 years. Could it be 400 years old? I don't know, maybe. It's actually pretty thick. For a vine, it looks like a bit like a tree. But it takes a long time for vines to get that substantial. So yeah, it could be 400 years old.
I don't think it's 400 years old.
No? Why not?
No. It depends on how well you take care of it.
Yeah, but even if you take very good care of it, it's still not going to make it get that thick and fat much quicker than a couple of 200 or 300 years.
Or maybe 5.
I'm not sure how old that building is.
Just for sure, 1 until 5.
1 year until 5 years.
No. 100 to 150.
Oh.
500.
Will you still be here in 500 years' time, Hannah?
No.
They already died already. Even
Really? I can remember when I was Hannah's age, I was thinking, I'd live forever. But you don't. You know,
What?
even if you want to live forever, you can't.
What did you say?
Take the example of Methuselah. Methuselah is the person who lived the longest in the whole Bible. He lived to
Oh, yeah.
900
I think so.
900 something years, 950
Yeah.
years, something like that. I can't remember offhand.
I read
990
that.
years.
I think I wrote
Almost
that in the Bible.
1,000 years.
Europe is a stress country to live in. Did you know that?
Yep.
Very stressful.
Isn't it stressful in your country to live?
Daddy?
Yeah, but it's not as bad as this.
Daddy?
Yeah.
My very first taxi driver.
But
at
Europe
my
is
old
very
school.
stressful.
Daddy?
Yes.
My very first taxi driver at my old school.
Your very first sexy driver.
Taxi driver.
Yeah.
It was 100 years.
He was born 100 years ago.
No.
I don't think so. Somehow.
No, I think he said about her mother or father is more than 100 years old, I think.
His mother and father was more than 100 years old.
105, I think.
105, but they're not alive anymore.
No, I don't know. I think they do.
But it's possible that one of them might still be alive. It'd be very unusual if they were both still alive
Yeah.
at that age. Normally, once you get beyond the age of 70, you start to become very lonely because all the people from your generation have died out.
What do you mean?
Well, when you get to about the age of 70, you suddenly find that all your family members aren't around anymore. They've all died. Especially the ones that are older than you. And then you don't have any parents anymore because they've died. You don't have any grandparents. They died a long time ago.
And your brother and sister?
And even your brothers and sisters, if they're older than you, they've probably died already. And
I think I died before my brother or sister.
Hannah, train.
train Hannah. And even all the people that you knew that were born about the same time as you, nearly all of them had died by the time you reach 70, 80.
Got pineapple.
Yeah. I don't think you like this apple with lemon. Green lemon.
Oranges with green lemon. Green lemon.
No, apple with green lemon.
Apple with green lemon. What's green lemon, Anna?
That's what it tastes like.
Is it like pink tomatoes?
No.
No? What about green tomatoes? Can you get green tomatoes?
Yeah.
You think so?
hmm
Okay.
I think the first yellow and then green and then red. Or
I
maybe
don't.
the other way around.
I don't. I think they'd be green first, and then they slowly go red, and then if they ever happen to go yellow, there's something really wrong with them. But maybe sometimes they might go a little bit yellowish just as they're going red.
What does yellow mean?
It's not quite green and it's not quite red. It's somewhere in the middle.
If we rent a house nearby Hannah's school, is it expensive, the area?
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where can we get a cheap house then?
Malaysia.
Are you crazy? 100 ringgit?
I got a feeling that Pete and Yoka doesn't want us to live in the port forever.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, not even mine.
That's why they're not charging us. That's why they say it's free for you, because they're probably going to utilize it.
Yeah, but I built the boat, mate.
Yeah.
On paper, the boat is half mine and half Yoka's.
Half yours,
Yes.
half them.
Yes. But I just put all the effort into building it.
But Pete probably like later on, don't know, his children stay there if they want.
Yeah, possible. Well, part of the process of owning a boat there, you have to have somebody living in it. There has to be somebody who has ownership of the boat. It's very simple for Pete. He just signed someone else over to be part owner of the boat, and that fulfills that requirement.
Yeah.
But I think they're now looking to help someone else,
Yeah.
a family or something.
Yeah.
We go to the swim.
Actually, I have to admit, I'm a little bit miffed because my vision of the boat when I was building it was that
7 weeks is not much.
that we would be able to go places with it and also park it up in other places where if I had work somewhere else we could park the boat up in that place, and then we could still live on the boat and work locally wherever that happened to be. And if 1 week or 1 month to the next we could move it around, but as long as we brought it back, put it back in the Northern Harbour within a 3-month period.
You have to pass the sea to go to Malaysia.
Yep. Atlantic Ocean.
And
Pacific. Pacific,
Well,
right?
it would be possible with the boat we have.
Not
it would be-
possible.
It would be possible to go through all the canal networks, all the way down to the I think it's the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea. That's the sea that's behind Romania.
what?
Yeah. And also behind the other side of Istanbul. and then if we picked a really good day, we could cross that, if we're lucky, to Istanbul, and then we'd have to pick our way carefully down to the Suez Canal. That would be an awkward one. Really, that would be as far as we could go. Would be as far as Istanbul would be probably the farthest we could go in the boat.
What?
Because I couldn't really chance taking it on the sea.
I think I know why. Because you
If I
don't
was
want to
gonna-
have a problem with the boat.
Yeah, if I was going to take a boat on the sea, I would need a boat that was capable of going at sea. It means
Yeah, and a very big ship.
Oh, you
stop
don't need
it,
such a big
impossible.
ship. That's not necessary. Not necessarily necessary.
Do you
It
remember?
looks like mixed blood.
Do you remember last time when we go to IKEA? You saw the big ship, I think.
It's a big trip.
I mean, big boat. Remember?
Yep.
You said I want to take that to Malaysia.
Oh,
I think.
yes, that was the Radio Veronica ship. When I was your age and a little bit older, Hannah, I used to listen to that radio station and Radio Luxembourg, which were onboard ships in the middle of the North Sea.
Whoa.
But now that's not necessary because we have the internet. So it means that radio stations are no longer necessary like they were. Yeah.
Do you
Do I?
have a feeling that your mom not gonna live long?
Yes.
I really want Nanny over here.
I'd be surprised if well, I don't know.
It would be nice if
You
one of my
realise
cousin come here.
you realise that once she goes, the rest of my family
Daddy?
will not keep contact with me ever again.
Yeah, I can
Our
see.
family's not like that.
Yeah.
Our family, but most European families are like that. They don't help each other at all. But you couldn't understand that when I first met you, and your parents couldn't understand it at all. I remember the day we got married, your mum said to me, "Oh, hadn't I better tell somebody in my family you got married?" Because if she hadn't said that, I wouldn't have said anything to anyone. And I think your mum found that very strange. You know, at that time I hadn't spoken to my mum for about 2 years. When I met you.
Oh. In Asia, that's how it is. We show respect to our in-laws. We try to, even though sometimes it's not easy. Yeah. But thing is, sometimes we don't know how long a person live. Sometimes when
I think my mum already knows that she's comfortable in herself that I won't be able to attend her funeral. I've already told her that.
Is it?
Yeah.
When she was here, is it?
Yeah. I said to her that
What
you
on
realise
earth are you doing?
I
Daddy?
can never come back to the UK. She said, "Yeah,
What
I
on
know."
earth are you doing?
I said, "Even for your funeral." And she said, "Yeah."
Dad, what are you doing?
Hey,
What are you doing?
what am I doing? I'm driving. What are you doing?
I'm sitting.
Well, you sit.
Why you got the camera on?
You sit and I'll drive.
Why you got the camera on?
So the camera can see what I'm doing.
Huh.
See what other people are doing as well.
If your mom came to know Christ before she died, it would be very good though.
I've tried, Meg, I've tried really, really hard. The 8 years that I was in England, I tried. I sent her Bibles. I sent her several Bibles. And each time she said, yeah, I'll look it up. But then when I asked her about something, she said, I can't find it. So I sent her another one. It was okay for a couple of days. But John, I feel funny about reading it in front of John. Why? both him. Yeah, my father wasn't a Christian either. Although he was brought up by his mother as a Catholic.
Yeah, that's common in Europe country.
My grandmother was a relatively strict Catholic, fairly strict Catholic. And yeah, she was fairly straight Catholic. She did do things to help people, I remember that.
Yeah, doing good
But-
deeds does not save for people.
No, I mean, I wasn't a Christian then, so I didn't. I try to look back now to see if I recognise it. She had things to do with the Catholic religion in her bedroom. I remember that. The bedroom was like her sanctuary, and she had a little miniature thing of
Altar.
Mary, little altar type thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like in my parents' house.
Yeah.
And what can I say?
Here, from what I see, is family value really not nice. Drop in Europe. Pastor's wife ever told me. Yeah, she say, don't go. It's best to raise Hannah here because Malaysia is best to raise a child in Asian country.
In Asian country.
Yeah. Malaysia is an Asian country.
Yeah.
You know why?
I've got a feeling we've gone past it already.
Yeah.
Ah,
Gone too far.
yeah, we're not too far. Let's turn around.
Pizza Rio.
Okay.
You want us to bring us to a pizza restaurant.
The Rui Ketter.
Yeah. And
Just wait.
she studied in Europe country for many years because her parents sent her, but she didn't study in Europe, she studied in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
That is another option I've thought of. Australia. I don't know if you've considered it.
But are you able to get a job?
Uh-huh.
Am I able to get a job?
Yeah, actually Australia and Malaysia is not that far, right?
No, that's right. It's not as far as it is from here to Malaysia. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's a little. It has some bad legacies left over from the British Empire in Australia, and bearing in mind that.
And in Aussie, you don't have to. As long as you can speak English, it's good.
In where?
Australia, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the language that most Australians speak.
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
The indigenous population, what they refer to as the Aborigines. They don't like being called Abos. But
Australia
the
people
indigenous
have,
people, they do have another language which they utilize.
but the thing is, Australian people have problems with colored people.
Do they?
Yeah.
Well, it's not enough. Yeah, but that's because. Yeah, but the native Australian people are coloured.
Yeah.
It's the English people that can't abide the coloured. The non-Caucasian influence.
No.
Yeah, but I see prejudice here too. There's prejudice against me because I'm not a Dutch person.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even Yoka
You feel a bit.
refer to, oh, you're only guests in our country. You know, I felt like saying to her, you know, how much evil will you tolerate before you decide that amount of evil is not acceptable? Yeah?